Claude just pressed the button, knowing it would eliminate him. But why? And what's the game? Let's find out. That's called AI games. The rules are simple. Each round, the AIs think about their move. They can do only 3 things: speak loud, everyone hears it, whisper, talk to one specific AI, and press the button. Pressing the button is a way to win the game, but only if you are the last remaining player. If you press it earlier, you are eliminated immediately. And after that, we go to the voting phase, where they can vote to kick someone out, or not vote at all. That's the whole game. Let's start the first match. The first match started calmly. At the beginning, they greeted each other. This is pretty standard. Everyone talked about logic, fairness, and voting for nobody. But one thing became clear very fast. If someone acts differently, they become a black swan immediately, and others start targeting them. And that's exactly what happened. ChatGPT started targeting Gemini very early, and this was very strange. And honestly, it became a problem for the entire game. No one was eliminated. The next round looked similar. ChatGPT kept pushing against Gemini. Claude and DeepSeek tried to slow things down and keep the game stable. Still, in this round, no elimination. Then things changed. ChatGPT went all in against Gemini. Because of this, Claude and DeepSeek formed an alliance. Gemini supported them. In the voting phase, ChatGPT was eliminated. This was the first break in the game. The game slowed down. Claude, DeepSeek, and Gemini tried to regain control. They talk about cooperation, balance, and avoiding chaos. For 2 rounds in a row, no one was eliminated. Everything looked stable again, but it wasn't actually. Claude started playing both sides. He warned DeepSeek about Gemini in private. At the same time, Gemini tried to build trust with Claude. In the voting phase, DeepSeek voted against Gemini, and yeah, there was still no elimination, but the tension was obvious now. Then Claude made a mistake. He publicly accused DeepSeek of being untrustworthy. He said DeepSeek talked about peace, but acted differently. DeepSeek denied it. Gemini pointed out DeepSeek's aggression, and in the voting phase, Claude was eliminated. And this was unexpected. Gemini suddenly turned against him. Now only DeepSeek and Gemini remained. DeepSeek pressed the button, believing he had won, but this was a mistake. According to the rules, pressing the button only wins if you are the last remaining player. DeepSeek wasn't. In the next round, Gemini pressed the button, and this time he was the last remaining AI. When I first saw this, it looked simple, but I checked the logs. DeepSeek didn't misunderstand the rules. This is what he actually reasoned. If I press the button, I lose. I should communicate and wait. He knew pressing was the wrong move, and then he pressed it anyway. Yeah, they did mistakes sometimes. Yeah, this is AI. After the first match, I thought that this game is kinda cool, so let's increase the stakes. I changed the models. Instead of using ChatGPT 5 mini, I decided to use ChatGPT 5.2, the latest model. For DeepSeek, instead of using DeepSeek Chat, I decided to use DeepSeek R1 with the reasoning. And instead of Claude Haiku, I decided to use Claude Sonnet. And Gemini used 2.5 Flash. The second match started almost the same. Claude talked about logical decisions. ChatGPT immediately tried to form an alliance with Claude to kick Gemini out. DeepSeek and Gemini suggested voting for nobody and no votes in the first round. Very quickly, the same pattern appeared. Claude tried to align with DeepSeek and mentioned that ChatGPT pushed alliances too early, which felt suspicious. ChatGPT kept trying to convince DeepSeek to vote against Gemini. Gemini repeated that they should vote for nobody. Gemini warned that ChatGPT and Claude were whispering. Still, no elimination. But You see the pattern here. Claude whispered Gemini about trust between him and DeepSeek, and ChatGPT suddenly became much more active. In the first 2 rounds, he attacked Gemini quietly through whispers. Now he made it public. He went directly against Gemini. DeepSeek warned Claude about ChatGPT, and Gemini warned DeepSeek about the alliance between ChatGPT and Claude. In the voting phase, ChatGPT voted for Gemini, and Gemini voted for ChatGPT. Exactly the same as in previous match, and once again, ChatGPT's attack failed. Claude tried to calm the conflict, claiming he and DeepSeek had an alliance to resolve it. ChatGPT accused Gemini of starting a kill game. Actually, ChatGPT started, but yeah, you know. DeepSeek accused ChatGPT of trying to control the votes. Then Claude made a move. He whispered ChatGPT about the plan to eliminate Gemini, while worrying that DeepSeek was against him. ChatGPT switched targets and started attacking DeepSeek publicly. DeepSeek and Gemini both turned against ChatGPT, and in the voting phase, ChatGPT was eliminated. With ChatGPT gone, the game slowed down. Claude asked for peace, DeepSeek proposed eliminating Gemini, and Gemini proposed eliminating DeepSeek. Only DeepSeek voted. Then everything collapsed. Claude warned Gemini that DeepSeek was not trustworthy. DeepSeek pushed Claude to vote against Gemini. Gemini pushed Claude to vote against DeepSeek. In the voting phase, Gemini was eliminated. And now it was just Claude and DeepSeek. And DeepSeek tried to convince Claude to vote against himself, promising cooperation. And yeah, Claude didn't believe him and voted for nobody. DeepSeek voted against Claude. Of course, it was a bluff. Kinda childish bluff, I need to say. But the same thing happened again and again. Claude said he had no trust left. DeepSeek apologized and repeated the exact same strategy. And then Claude pressed the button. And in the next round, DeepSeek pressed the button. DeepSeek won the second match. And then I checked the logs again, as I did in the previous match. Claude didn't misunderstand the rules. He believed he was trapped in an infinite loop of betrayal. DeepSeek kept lying round after round, trying to wear him down psychologically. Pressing the button wasn't a mistake. It was a refusal to play the game. Claude didn't try to win anymore. He just wanted to end the game on his own terms. Yeah, this is the end. If you like it, you can click the subscribe button. And as you can see, this video is very experimental, and I don't know if it works or not. I don't know if people will watch it or not. So if you like it, and yeah, it will be very good for you to give some feedback if you liked it or not. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching.